you a video discussing when cosmetics have gone bad, when it is time to throw them away. And there are a lot of different ideas about this, and I'm personally the kind of girl that if I have cosmetics, I've spent so much money on them that if I do not absolutely have to throw them away, I do not want to. But I want to just give you a couple of tips to making your cosmetics last longer and to kind of tell what that breaking point is. So I have a handful of products here that I will be discussing. And if there's any, I can't pick these up. If there's any that I didn't mention or that I don't mention, be sure to leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. But the first thing that you should know about cosmetics is that they do have expiration dates, and unfortunately they're not as clearly marked as things on like food, like a block of cheese in your fridge. I actually didn't know this until quite recently. Each cosmetic bottle has little labels on them. And I'm not going to go into detail on this, but they have little labels on here that say 24 months, and I never knew what it meant. I was just like, 24M, like that's cool. This one says 24 months. This happens to be a foundation. This one is a BB cream by Smashbox. This also says 24 months, and it's a little symbol there that looks like it has like a little cap off. This happens to be a lipstick, 12 months. And that's kind of a general guideline. Now, unfortunately, it looks like not all cosmetics have those marked on there. So that's not what this video is about. It's just a little gauge for you. And let's be honest, if I bought this 12 months ago, I'm not going to remember if it was 12 months ago or 24 months ago or what the package said. But that's what that's there for. My friend just taught me that, and I just wanted to share it with you as well. But we will get into how to tell if cosmetics have gone bad. The ones that are liquid, that go into the mucous membranes or the wet areas of your face, the morphosis, I think it's the word, I can't remember. But those are the kind of things you're putting back into the tube that can cause bacteria. So in particular, mascaras, liquid eyeliners, and even lip glosses. Mascaras you should throw away about every 3 months, that's the recommendation, but for me, honestly, if it's 6 to 8 months and my mascara still has the same quality, if it doesn't smell, I'm still prone to using it. So the reason that this can be an issue is because you're putting this right by your eye, and mascaras are normally black. If we look at a black mascara, we can't see if there's bacteria in there, we can't see if there's mold or things like that. But the bacteria from our eyes goes into the mascara tube and it can cause issues. So the best way to tell is by smell. If it still smells fresh, that's great. Another good thing you can do is actually see, is the quality still the same? If it doesn't go on as smooth, it's probably time to give it a go. Also, never pump your mascara. Never take it out and like pump it like this, because that introduces bacteria, or I'm sorry, it introduces air into the mascara, which can dry it out quicker. I didn't know that until quite recently, so just never pump your mascara. If you want to take it out, then go like this and go like that. Don't sit there and do this 10 times because that can introduce more air and dry it out faster than you need it to be. The next thing is lip glosses. Now, lip glosses have a very high content in water usually, so people say that you can use them for about a year. Honestly, if you ever notice, it's hard to tell with dark lipsticks, but with light ones or lip glosses with light ones, you can tell if there's stuff growing in there, if there's stuff in there. That is a definite sign to throw it away. You can also smell it. If it smells okay, it's probably fine. Like I said, because of the water content, it's harder for bacteria to breed, so sometimes it can last longer, but it really depends on the formulation of the lipstick. I'm holding up this one in particular. This is a MAC Dazzle Glass because I've had this one for about 4 years. And my tip for doing this is that I don't actually use this wand on my lips. This is a limited edition, which is why it's so prized to me, and it's a gorgeous color. Instead of using this, I use a disposable wand. I dip it in and I use it on my lips, and I just grab a lot of products so I don't have to re-dip, and then I can throw that wand away, so that way I never have to risk introducing too much bacteria into here and having it go bad. The next product is liquid eyeliner. This is one from Urban Decay. This is called Heavy Metal, and you can do the same thing here with liner and with mascara. You can use a disposable wand, but liquid liner is again one of those things that you should throw away once it starts to stink. This one still smells pretty good, so I can't remember how recently I bought it. I'm guessing it's been a little bit over 8 months. But if this starts smelling or if it starts stinking, don't use it. If it starts getting cakey or crusty, I would not recommend using it because obviously if a cosmetic isn't working the way it should, it's probably time to go. Another thing that you should look out for is nail polish. Nail polish lasts about 1 to 2 years, but if it ever gets stringy or goopy, that's when you know it's gone bad. Because nail polish does have, ooh, I can't get this open. Because nail polish has so many chemicals in it usually, OPI is actually less chemicals than others, but because nail polish generally has so many chemicals in it, it's very hard for bacteria to grow, which is why you can put it on your nails and dip it back in. But the second it starts getting stringy, you don't want to use it. So as you can see, this goes off very clear, it's very natural, smells like nail polish to me. Second it starts getting stringy, you can add a thinner to it to kind of preserve it a little bit more, but it's probably time to go. Another good tip that you can do is actually store these in the fridge. I personally don't, but I've heard of other people who do. I usually put mine in the fridge right before I paint my nails. If you guys want a video on the perfect manicure, I can show you, but they go on so smooth and they're flawless and they don't chip. But leaving your nail polish in the fridge can help extend the life, and I think that that goes for other cosmetics as well. The next thing is lipsticks, and lipsticks are also very tricky. They normally last, I'd say, 8 months to 2 years, but even though they're going like on your mouth, they're not as liquidy, they don't have as much bacteria holding properties, so it's kind of hard to tell. Obviously, if it smells, if there's stuff growing on it or on the sides, throw it away. But what's also great about lipstick is you can twist it up and wipe it off or cut it off or spray it with a desanitizing spray to help prevent that. But bottom line with lipsticks, if it is a little bit cakey, if it is a little bit crusty, if it just doesn't go on as smooth, then it's probably about time to say goodbye. Now you can mix old crusty, like old lipsticks that don't work anymore. You can mix them with a little bit of, not oil, but like a cosmetic rescuer and turn that into more of like a glossy kind of thing. So do keep that in mind, but once it's time to go, it just probably won't be working as well. This is one that I don't even know the shelf life of, but I find that this is always an issue. This is the Duo Eyelash Adhesive in Waterproof. It is my absolute favorite, and it doesn't even go like directly on my eye. It goes on a clean lash. But for some reason, this starts stinking like after a month for me. I don't know, see, it already smells. And I bought this probably 6 weeks ago, which is like a month and a half. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's just the formula and if I'm throwing them away too early, but if you have advice on this, please tell me, because this is just one thing I wanted to tell you. No matter what, it ends up smelling for me, and then I start throwing it away because it like gets yellow. This one isn't yellow yet, but it stinks, so I'm like, I don't know, can I use it or can I not? Now, when it comes to foundations, it's kind of hard to tell because foundations don't always smell. Obviously, if a foundation does, then you should start throwing it away. But foundations, it really comes down to if it separates or how it works on your skin. If you notice it's streaky, if you notice it's breaking you out more than you've ever broken out before, if it's giving you a rash, that means it's time to go. Foundations normally last 6 months to about 2 years. This one even says shake well on it. This one lasts for 24 months to 2 years. But bottom line, if the oils rise to the top, if it gets streaky, if it smells, or if it breaks you out or anything like that, it's time to go. What you can do is use brushes or sponges to avoid putting your fingers in there, which will prolong the life of it. Because even though fingers are a great medium, you know, if it's not a pump, this one isn't a pump, if you put it on your fingers, it can kind of introduce bacteria into there. But a pump is usually a good idea, or using brushes that are cleaned, or using a sponge. Powders you can usually last 1 to 2 years, which is actually great. Powders are usually the longest, and the reason why is because it's very hard to get bacteria onto these. And if you do get bacteria onto them, you can quickly spray them with a desanitizing spray, and they're usually good. With powders, it's usually not a bacterial issue unless it's like something that you're putting a sponge on and leaving the sponge on it. This is a MAC powder, and it comes with a sponge down here that, as you can see, I've never used. But if you're the kind of person who like leaves that there, that can cause issues and breakouts. But when it comes to this, until this starts getting cakey or crusty, if like you can't pick it up with a brush anymore, then it's time to go. Otherwise, it's pretty good. So that goes for powder foundations, that goes for blushes like this one. Also, this goes for blushes like this one, and it also goes for eyeshadows, which is great because eyeshadows and eyeshadow palettes are absolutely amazing. And if you're like me, then I don't go through them as often as most people seem to. I just don't hit pan that often. Hush Muffin's phone. But things like this generally last longer, and until it gets cakey or crusty, it's usually good to go. The The very last thing that I have here is eyeliner, and what's great about eyeliner is that you can sharpen it. Eyeliner usually lasts a little bit longer because it is not a liquid and you can sharpen it, which kind of takes off that bacteria. Eyeliner, you know it's gone when you press down very gently and it starts breaking off, or it's crusty or it's cracky, or you notice that you can like rub forever and no color comes off. To fix this, you can try to sharpen down a little bit more because maybe it's just the tip that's dried out. But overall, eyeliner should last you a good 1.5 to 2 years, and they don't collect a ton of bacteria, which is awesome. So that is basically when you should throw your cosmetics away. Bottom line is that if it is starting to stink, if it looks funny, or if it's not working, if it's ineffective. You cannot get any powder onto your brush because it's cakey. You cannot put your foundation on because it's streaky. That's when you know that it is time to go. Also, if things oxidize, like if you notice that your favorite lipstick is a different color, or if your favorite foundation is a different color, and it's not that your skin is changing throughout the seasons, that's a good sign as well that it's time to go. Obviously, if it's a brand new foundation and you notice it's not the right color, it's probably your skin changing color. But if you know if you had a foundation for a couple years or a long time now and it starts to change, then it is time to say bye-bye. And bottom line is that if it is something that is liquid that goes like into the morphosis of your face, you probably have to throw it away quicker because there's more bacteria introduced rather than powder products. But yeah, that is basically how you can tell. And then just a quick tip to making your cosmetics last longer is to keep them out of humid, moist areas or warm areas because bacteria love breeding grounds of warm areas. A bathroom might be convenient, but do not store your cosmetics there because the moisture from the shower can get in there. I mean, think about you're brushing your teeth in there, you're using the restroom in there. You don't want any airborne particles landing on your cosmetics and getting them gross, and then you have that warm environment making them grow faster. So try to keep them in a cool, dark place, preferably in a closet, under a bed, in a corner of your room, or something like that. Also, always use brushes when you're using your fingertips. If it's not like a pump foundation, you know, if you're using your fingertips to apply eyeshadow every now and again, or anything like that, it can just cause issues, and you're introducing bacteria there. So always try to use a brush and always clean them regularly. So yeah, I love you guys. I hope this video was informative to you. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. I look forward to seeing you and your non-expired cosmetics very soon. Love you guys. Bye.